We have a number of these old hardwood chairs and they're really comfortable, and for the most part they're really solid and well built, but on this one I noticed that the arm is coming loose. That gap should not be there. At first I thought these might be assembled with dowels, but then I realized that these are actually just plugs. If I look in there I can actually see the two screws that have somehow started pulling out. If you flip the chair over I can just see that the whole chair is assembled with screws. But so this is factory furniture from somewhere in the 30s to 70s. I don't know. I got them secondhand clearly, but they're solid and comfortable. So I definitely want to fix them. So I need to drill these plugs out to fix this, and I think the tricky part might be just getting this to stay still. So I put a 2x4 here. Let me see if I can clamp it to this bench here. I need to do something maybe at this side or maybe here. I tried clamping from the bottom, but the clamp couldn't get close enough, so I ended up taking out the drawer, and now I have it clamped here. This piece is on a bit of an angle, so it's a bit precarious, but it feels a lot more solid now. I need to drill out the plugs, so I'm going to start with the Forstner bit because I want a nice clean hole, because I want to be able to put plugs back in afterwards, but I'm only going to drill in a little bit because I don't want to ruin my nice Forstner, so I'm going in just a little bit, and then I'll switch to a drill bit that I don't care about. Oh, I hit the screw already, not very deep. Using a pick now to see if I can just get this out. Good news, it's coming out, and they're Robertson screws. This might be a really quick and simple job. They're coming out nice and easy. I think I'm going to want to put in a little toothpick or something to give it some more bite in the wood. Just a couple of big Robertson screws. I've got these large toothpicks that I buy on Amazon. I think they're actually sandwich picks, but I use them for like mixing epoxy and glue. But it's some sort of a softwood, and what I'm going to do is take 4 of them, and I'm going to take the glue and put a little glue deep in there. I just want the glue in the inside part, really. Jam a couple of these in each one. Just want to bulk up the bottom hole. Take my flush cutting saw and I'm going to slip that in between. So now I've just got toothpick in the chair part, and that should give me lots of wood for the screws to bite into and hold nice and tight. That's tight, all right. I can barely get the screw in. Well, that feels solid. So if you don't have some, you really want to get some tapered plug cutters. I'm going to use the 1/2-inch plug cutter here, and I'm going to cut some plugs out of this oak that I have here. I only need 2, but I always make an extra. Use a screwdriver to pop them loose. Got to be careful because sometimes they'll just go flying. This oak was particularly hard. I was getting burning. A little bit of glue in each hole. And I spread it around the edges so it's well coated. And I'm going to try to line up the grain. So the grain on the arm is going like that, and I've got the grain on the plugs going like that also. And pound them into place. I just let them dry overnight, and again, this is a flush cutting saw, so there's no set to the teeth, so it's completely flat on the one side. Just in case I forgot, my flush cutting saw is reminding me. This one's perfectly flush, but here I think it needs a little bit of chisel work. I don't want to be touching the finish, so I'm just trying to sand the plugs a bit. The finish is a dark brown with hints of gray in it, so I found the darkest stain that I have, which is a dark walnut, and let's try a little bit of that, because I'm not refinishing the chair, I'm just doing a little spot finishing, a little bit of spot finishing on the plugs. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's not dark enough. I need to get something else. So for round 2, I brought out some ebony. That's better. And that is practically invisible. Tomorrow, once the stain is dry, I'll dab on a little bit of polyurethane just to seal the end. So that turned out far easier than I thought it was going to be. Just a couple of toothpicks and a plug cutter, and we got a repair that's basically invisible. And it's nice and solid. Ah.